We bought this lamp from our dining area a few years ago. It wasn't an expensive lamp and it showed. First the solder started to fail and it became more oblong than round. But when I realized it looked like a table lamp hanging from the ceiling, it had to go. After some searching, we found this lamp at a local antique shop. It was a bit tarnished and was not electrified, but it had the right look. I started by taking all the crystals off so I could give them a good clean. I soaked them in water with window cleaner and dish soap. I used a small brush to get all the dirt out. Then I turned my attention to the lamp itself. I blew off the dust and began scrubbing down. I realized the canister came off. I assumed this was to make it easier to fill, but it will also make it easier for me to work on this part while I'm electrifying it. It's important to get all of the dirt and dried polish out of the little details and intricate parts of the lamp, and that way it'll give you a good finished product. I'm going to take apart as much as I can in order to polish the good. This piece will help me get the electrified part together. Then it's off to polishing. I need to polish every inch of it, rubbing on some brass polish and then buffing it off, cleaning it while I go. When it's finished, I'll give it a coat of lacquer to protect it. Again, it's important to get all the dried polish off. So I made a special brush out of an acid brush that I crimped the ferrule tight and cut the bristles off short. That made it a little miniature scrub brush. You can see it was able to get all the details clean and bright. Now the trick is the balance between getting it polished and not taking away all of the patina.
So we're working on the conversion of an oil lamp into an electric lamp for a chandelier. This is the tank that's on the chandelier. It comes with what's called an English duplex. It's basically just 2 wicks. The problem is, because it has 2 wicks, the diameter of this is larger than typical. I bought an electric conversion kit, and it was that typical bright brass. And what I did is I took it, scuffed it up with some Scotch-Brite, and put some spray paint on it to make it look a little duller and a little older. But the bottom of this is, like I say, less than 1.25 inches. So what I've got to do is make an adapter to fit this into this tank so it holds it at the proper height.
I designed the bushing in Shaper Studio. It's made of 2 rings. The smaller one has the diameter of the socket and the diameter of the canister opening. The larger ring will hold it in place. Now I use the Shaper Origin and Shaper Workstation to cut this out of a thin piece of black acrylic. The Shaper Origin is a handheld CNC, and you can see my design in the monitor of the Origin itself. It uses the dominoes on the workstation to orient itself in its space, and it will correct any movements I make that's not perfect.
All right, so what we did is we got those 2 pieces, we cleaned them up, glued them together, and so now this should work. So let's try it out. So this snaps on there real nice and neat. Then we'll probably put a little bit of crazy glue on this and put this down on there, and then that'll hold it. So what we got to do now is what I didn't want to do, but there's just really no other way around it. To hide the wires going up with the power, I'm going to have to drill through the bottom of this canister to fish the wires down through it this way. And now what we'll do is we'll end up running the wire through this, down through the pipe, and then out so we can bring it up to the side of the lamp itself. So we'll get to that in just a few moments.
I started by reassembling the canister base. Then I would fish the wire down through the bottom of the base. You can see I used a rubber grommet to protect the wire and give it a more finished look. This is going to allow me to run the wire up the frame of the lamp to the top. I'm using the brass wire to hold it tight to the frame. Other than fitting the socket and running the wire, the restoration really was a matter of cleaning and polishing. I think it was pretty much a success. Thanks for stopping by.